in the city, they just want relief. They say, we don't want all this craziness. We don't even really have a strong position, but look, we want to go to work. We want to bring our kids to school. We don't want the ICE commandos driving through the streets, battling it out like Fallujah with Antifa. Like, we don't want to live like this. So they just make it unpleasant for everybody so that the administration decides it's not worth the trouble. And this is really the story of how our country has fallen, which is to say that you have decent law-abiding people. I would argue that's the silent majority, even non-white people too, even Hispanics, even blacks. In their heart of hearts, they really just want to go to work, make a living, send their kids to school. To the extent that they have a political inclination, they want prices to be stable. They want cheap health care. For some of these immigrants, they have a special interest. They want to bring their family in for chain migration. They're seeking paperwork and things like that. But what always happens is that whenever the normal people, the decent people, even if it's just white people, let's say, even if it's just taxpayers, if they want to appoint a government or elect a government to enforce the laws against BLM, against illegal immigrants, against government corruption, whatever it is, the Democrats' play always is just to cause a bunch of problems, and the reasonable people back off. They say it's not worth it. It's not worth the trouble. What are we out here fighting for? What are we out here causing all these problems? You know what? Let's just stop antagonizing the crazies. Let's all go home and let's just not bother anybody. Let's chill out. That's always how it goes. And I've been saying for 10 years, we, the law-abiding people, we, the white people, we actually now have to become the unreasonable ones. We have to match their energy. We have to face them. We have to confront them in a showdown, and it's going to be a battle. I mean, both sides are going to take losses, whether that's political pressure, a lost election, violence, whatever, and whatever violence looks like. I mean, you know, whether it's the vandalism or it's an arrest, whatever. The law-abiding people eventually are going to have to stare in the face of the chaos. We're going to have to meet them on the battlefield and confront them and decisively win. That is what is required. And so this brings us to the situation over the weekend where this kid gets killed. And this is what I call that confrontation. We are there in Minnesota. We're barely doing deportations. The radicals are out in full force. Some of them are getting killed. Some people are getting arrested, like kids, and people are being misidentified, whatever. The mayor, the governor are emboldening the crazy people. So ICE is deploying thousands more troops. We're going in there. Then this guy dies. Alex Preddy dies. And our own side wants to undermine our political position. Our own side starts to say, hey, I'm all in favor of immigration restriction, but that was too far, and this and that. That was too far. Bullshit. That was too brutal. I don't support that. He was a citizen. He was a veteran. He was a nurse. He was a legal concealed carry permit holder. And I said this on Monday. I said it about Renee Good. If that's you, you are just not serious. You will lose. You have blinked. You're playing a game of chicken and you just lost. This is the fight. We are taking the fight to them to deport some illegal immigrants. They are resisting. We are putting down the resistance. One of their idiots dies, and now our own side says, all right, uncle, let's just surrender. Now let's talk about, because these two stories are related. So what do we find out now about Alex Preddy, the guy that got shot? Well, when he gets shot, what does the media say about him? Well, first of all, they produce an AI edited picture of him. Anybody catch that? Mm-hmm. So this guy is an ugly freak. He just looks like a freak. He's got unkempt facial hair, weird physiognomy. He looks like a weird dude. The first thing the media does is they produce this AI enhanced photo of him that makes him look like a total catch, makes him look really handsome. This is what they do. Okay, this is the facelift. Then, how do they portray it on social media? They say he was a veteran. He was a nurse. He was a concealed carry permit holder. He was a medic. This white U.S. citizen, a veteran, a healer, a medic, selflessly went to Minneapolis to look after his fellow citizens. And he was gunned down because he tried to protect two ladies that were being apprehended by ICE. That's the story they tell us. And this is a psyop, and it worked.
Yeah.
And you have all of these like right-wing Trump supporters. You have all these macho guys, all these 2A guys, libertarians, far-right guys. They're all going, what the fuck? Our government, our surveillance state, our totalitarian police regime just gunned down. I don't care if he was left-wing. He was one of us. He was white, blah, blah. It worked. Well, what do we know about him now? Yesterday, we get a statement from his family. What does the family say? His own parents say he's acting really weird. His behavior is totally strange. He hasn't shown up to work in months. We told him not to confront ICE, and he kept going anyway. So this guy went off the goop. Maybe he was a medic. Maybe he was a healer. Until he decided to dedicate his life to being some kind of socialist revolutionary. So he was a medic and a veteran, but he isn't anymore. Now he is some kind of left-wing nut job that has dedicated his life to fighting for Somalian scammers. It gets better. Now we have a video that is resurfaced. It has been going around for weeks. Before his confrontation, which ended in his death over the weekend, he got in another altercation with ICE. There's at least one, maybe two other altercations that we know about. One of the altercations resulted in a broken rib. The other one was caught on video. This is from the New York Times. It says, quote, "The nurse who was fatally shot by federal agents in Minneapolis on Saturday was pushed to the ground by different agents at a protest 11 days before he was killed, according to a newly unearthed video that shows him spitting and cursing at ICE and kicking a taillight and breaking it on one of their SUVs. The footage adds to what is known about the 37-year-old nurse, Alex Preddy, who was killed by federal agents on Saturday morning after they pepper sprayed him and pushed him and a woman to the ground, a killing that set off protests in the Twin Cities and across the country. In the earlier incident on January 13th, Mr. Preddy, wearing some of the same clothing as when he was killed, can be seen running toward a street corner where a crowd of protesters have gathered and are jeering at federal agents. He screams at agents, "What are you doing here?" He repeatedly curses at them, spits at one agent as he is getting into a vehicle. When the agents drive away, Mr. Preddy kicks twice at one of the vehicle's taillights, breaking it. That seems to prompt agents to get back out of the vehicle and push him to the ground. The agents, some of whom are with Homeland Security investigations, hold Preddy on the ground for about 20 seconds before letting him go and driving off. As Mr. Preddy gets back to his feet, what appears to be a gun is seen tucked into the back waistband of his pants. During the later confrontation with agents in which Mr. Preddy was killed, he had a gun holstered on his hip. Okay, so I've seen enough. Fuck this guy. Seriously. He is not a hero. Right. He is not a martyr. He is not a patriot. As a matter of fact, he shouldn't even be considered a citizen. Fuck this guy. And I don't care that he died. 100% justified. Good riddance. Bye, bye, bye. One less piece of shit in the world. Good riddance. This is not a nurse, a veteran, whatever. This is a psycho. Who does this? Think about how psycho you have to be. This guy is out there and can barely contain himself. There is no restraint. This is not normal. No normal person does this. You want to go to a protest, knock yourself out. You want to get bundled up in your parka. You want to go and bring your coffee and hold up a sign. You want to go with a friend and make your voice heard. God bless you, honestly. That is your First Amendment right to speech, to assembly. We do live in a free society. Hey, God bless you. You want to go in daylight on a weekend or a normal day. You want to stand in a public place with your coat on and make your case. That is your prerogative. This is completely different. You have people going about their lives and in private, in conversations with coworkers and family and friends, they might not agree with what is happening. Some of them might feel very strongly and commit themselves to activism. Maybe they bring a box of Dunkin' Donuts to the protest. Maybe they make a sign and they go to the demonstration. Again, I don't agree with it. God bless you. This is somebody who is clearly on a mission. He is out there to confront law enforcement operatives. You know, that's different. It is one thing to go in public and apply pressure to policymakers and voters. In a democracy, we have a representative form of government and we have elections. So if you want to go out in a public place that is owned by the people and you want to get your message out to prospective voters or to the representatives of the voters, again, that is how we do things in the country. But this guy is chasing law enforcement agents. Law enforcement is not elected. They are not representatives.
Yeah, they can't do anything.
These are people that have a job.
Carrying out the law.
These are people that have a job. They are public servants. They're working for the elected officials. And they are involved every day in life or death situations. Why do you think they carry guns? Because they are getting, in some cases, into violent altercations, physical altercations that could lead to death or serious bodily harm. So you have a guy who is, he's not going to a protest. He's not a demonstrator. He is a terrorist. He is out there, he is an outlaw at the minimum.
Yeah.
At the minimum, he is an outlaw. He is there to confront law enforcement and harass them, attack them, dox them, interfere in their operations. Do you think it's a coincidence that he happens to be at a place where a crowd of people is gathered around an ICE vehicle? Most people have jobs. Most people have a life. So how are you summoned to a random street corner where a group of people has spontaneously mobilized where ICE is carrying out an arrest? That means you are on top of it. You are in a group chat coordinating with people, sitting around waiting to be activated to go and assault cops. And then he sees cops. He is completely taken over by emotion, by rage.
Obvious.
And you see the video, these are uncontrolled body movements. It's not like he's standing there holding up the sign and ICE is pushing them back or something like that, a familiar scene. No, he is aggressive, uncontrolled, unrestrained, flailing around, running up on ICE, screaming, "Fuck you, what are you doing here?" Dude. Spitting on them, flailing, kicking their car, kicking a car.
That's insane. Kicking
the car, breaking the taillight. That's someone who is insane. That is a violent nut job. And by the way, that's a crime.
Dangerous.
Spitting on a cop is assault.
Fuck yeah, it is.
How is that a protest? Spitting on cops that are leaving the scene. It's not like some guy is brutalizing you and in an act of defiance, you are aggressively running towards ICE, confronting them as they leave, spitting on them, screaming at them, kicking their vehicle and breaking it. This cocksucker should be in jail. Those are multiple crimes. I mean, you could throw the book at this guy. None of that is legal. None of that is defensible. Who behaves like this? They throw him to the ground and then they let him go. They throw him to the ground and then they let him go. And by the way, he does all this with a loaded gun in his waistband.
Dude.
So imagine you're a federal cop. You are federal law enforcement representing the United States of America. Some deranged lunatic is running at you, screaming, spitting, kicking, and oh, he has a visible loaded gun in his waistband in his pants.
That's incredible.
What are you supposed to do?
Incredible.
Now, in this situation, they throw him to the ground and then they let him go.
Dude, they wouldn't have done that for me.
This tells us so much. One, it tells us everything we need to know about this guy and what he was doing there and what his intentions are and what his end game is. Now we know who this person is just by that alone. But then it also tells us something about ICE, which is people are saying this is an uncontrollable Gestapo made up of undisciplined thugs. If that's the case, why didn't this guy get arrested?
Yeah, they're pulling their punches.
He assaulted an officer. He vandalized their vehicle. He's got a loaded gun. They apprehend him. They let him go. He didn't get punched in the face. He didn't get kicked in the teeth. He didn't get put in handcuffs. He didn't get taken away. He didn't get shot. Now, there's another story that he got thrown to the ground by ICE in a different altercation and broke his ribs. So this guy was just doing this. This is a profile now of a guy who went crazy, stopped going to work, became part of some kind of political operation of activists that are resisting the government. And he was irregular. He is regularly getting in physical altercations with cops, clearly getting thrown to the ground all the time, spitting on them, and he's carrying a gun. And he was doing it multiple times. I guess he just did it one too many times. How many times you want to roll the dice like that? If you are making a habit out of aggressively confronting police officers while you are armed and assaulting them, yeah, eventually you're gonna fucking die. I mean, obviously. And do you know what this reminds me of? This is no different than the black people. This is no different than BLM. Do you remember when we were being told about police brutality? The cops are the new Ku Klux Klan. Their job is not to enforce the law. It is to keep black people down. They're arresting vandals and murderers and thieves. They're there to keep black people down and prevent them from having opportunities. Remember this? They said, why is it that there are so many police-involved shootings of black people? So then all of these different states mandated body cams. And what did we see once every cop got a body cam? We saw
that the cops weren't the bad guys.
Once every police officer got a body cam strapped to their chest,
you can't argue.
Did we see a bunch of white racist cops giggling and laughing with each other about how they're going to oppress blacks every day? No. We see them going to black people that they're driving down the highway with their taillights busted. They get pulled over, they roll down the window, a stench of weed is emitted from the car. The black person is not cooperative, says they're not going to give him an ID. They run the plate, it's a stolen car, the license is expired. There's some sort of problem. The guy's got a rap sheet 3 pages long. Then they go to apprehend the guy, and the guy takes off running, or he reaches for a gun, and then he gets mag dumped. Very different picture. And it's the same thing. You go, okay, so, you're not being pulled over for driving while black. First of all, your taillights are busted. So. How many times, how many layers, how many times you want to roll the dice? How much do you think you can get away with here, actually?
It's
the same thing with the black people. Okay, so you got all kinds of vehicle violations. You have drugs in the car. You got a warrant out, and you're not cooperating, and you're resisting. And people go, shoot him in the leg. Well, they didn't have to kill him. Well, why'd they shoot him 20 times? They should have shot him, like once and then seen if he was okay.
Oh, and let him shoot back?
No, at a certain point, you got to start handing out the death penalty.
Yes. We
don't want to live in a society with people like this, and you just can't. And by the way,
This
think
isn't
about it
daddy
this way.
daycare.
You're in the middle of the story here where a police officer is in a fist fight with some criminal that they don't even know who it is. I prefer that law enforcement walk away from this encounter than a criminal. That's just me. If you're a cop pulling some degenerate over on the side of the road and you get in a physical altercation and you're rolling around, one person is in the wrong and one person is a public servant, okay? One person is a cop representing the people of the state or the city or the country, and the other person, 9 times out of 10, is somebody who is in the wrong.
Showing their
because
ass.
they did something wrong or they have no respect for authority. You can challenge anything. We have due process. We have a 5th and 6th Amendment. You want to fight your charge, you want to fight your case, okay, go to court. Go to court. You don't get in a fist fight with a police officer, a screaming match. It's just not how our system works. So when I see a cop and a criminal rolling around on the ground, one person is in the wrong, either for doing something wrong or because they're resisting the authorities, and the other person's a public servant. If push comes to shove, I prefer that the civil servant walks away.
He's not
Because
causing
one of
trouble
them
or begging
is putting their
for it.
life on the line every day to enforce the laws. One of them is essential for the maintenance of order, and the other person is doing the wrong thing. So this is what happens with Alex Preddy. Guy gets killed. And what's the next step? The media creates this image. They AI enhance the image, you know, they face tune him.
That's incredible.
They make him look like a Chad.
What the
They
fuck?
give this sob story. He was a nurse, a medic, a tireless hero, a veteran, and all of the conservatives eat this up. They say, oh, poor guy. Oh, he got treated badly because he's white. Oh, it's such a sad thing.
I'm tired of hearing about nurses.
We find out the
and how
guy's a complete
special they are.
scumbag. So that was a lie. And then when you look at the bigger picture here, when you start in the beginning of the story rather than the middle, you realize it was only a matter of time before this was going to happen. Maybe his SIG didn't go off accidentally this time and a mistake wasn't made. How many times do you think you can aggressively run up on a cop, assault him with a gun in your pants and extra magazines in your car before you get blown away? I mean, honest to God, how many times do you think you can get away with that? How many times do you think reasonably you can do that and never have any consequences? And it goes back to the same thing with Renee Good. When, if ever, are there any consequences for anybody in this society? You come in illegally, you can't be deported. You broke the law, but they say, oh, well, but they've been here a long time, but they're a nice guy. Okay, but they shouldn't be here. You're a Somalian scammer. You're taking $8 billion from the state. Homeland Investigations comes in, and that is who Alex Preddy attacked in this instance. So again, there's no accountability for scammers. Then you get the nut jobs that show up, like Renee Good and Alex Preddy.
Psycho.
They want to get in the face of police. You know, the lesbian wife is saying, come and get it, big boy. Drive, drive, drive.
Like, these people, their enemy isn't even like Russia or China anymore. It's their own fucking countrymen. They want their own countrymen, or they see them as more of an enemy than any other person on the planet. And, you know, honestly, I get a little bit of a white pill from this because what it shows is 10% of the population, well motivated and willing to do shit, get shit done, willing to go out and do something, can fucking leverage this government into anything. If 10% of the population could stop all this shit, bro, a well-motivated 10% on the right, maybe we fucking force the government to do this shit. Nobody's doing it now, but I see it as I take this as kind of a good sign.
To run over a cop, people say, well, you didn't have to shoot her. Alex Preddy's running up with a gun in his waistband. Well, you didn't have to shoot him. He was disarmed. Oh, sorry, they didn't see that when they're being surrounded by nut jobs blowing whistles.
Nut jobs
At a certain
blowing
point, there's got to
whistles.
be accountability. And this is what is so saddening about all of it, is when do the law-abiding, decent people grow the balls to say, you know
Dude,
what?
This is what I was just
Play
saying.
stupid games, win stupid prizes. We
gonna have to
need that
start
kind of
stepping up.
fortitude and conviction behind what we are
Sacking
doing
up and
to say,
doing this.
you know what, I can tolerate this guy dying.
Absolutely.
It just speaks to how
I'll help
weak
him.
our coalition is.
Shit.
We don't want to win. We don't want to win. We're not taking it seriously enough. If one of these people dies, people go, all right, well, let's just give up.
Right? What the
We got
fuck,
50 million
man?
illegals in the They're stealing shit out of your car. It's burglary crews or looting the welfare system. One asshole dies, and conservatives want to lay down and say, never mind. Never mind. Forget it.
Sorry, we
Just
even
let our
asked.
country go. I don't want to see another protester die.
Just please stop whistling at me, please.
And you go, wow, we have no stomach for
no
this.
fucking intestinal fortitude.
And that's when you realize we
None.
shouldn't even start fighting if we can't take the heat like this. Then it gets better. So get a load of
They're
this.
gonna push us till we are in the streets.
Now the Democrats in the Senate are going to shut down the government to impose restrictions on ICE. It's literally George Floyd. George Floyd is a scumbag, dies because he is stupid. Everybody says it's brutality, so what do? We handcuff the police. Body cams, abolish the police, defund the police, put restrictions on them, and what do we get? Crime everywhere. Crime wave. Same story. Some scumbag dies because of his own stupid decisions. Everybody freaks out. Now what are the Democrats doing?
Damn it, man.
$1 trillion appropriations bill. It funds a half dozen government departments and agencies. In order for the bill to pass, it needs 60 votes in the Senate. Republicans only have 53. 54 with a tiebreaker. So they're going to need 6 Democrats to come over and vote for this thing. They were going to vote for it. After the death of this protester, the leader of the Democrats, Chuck Schumer, comes out and says, we, the Democrats, will not supply the votes unless we separate the spending bill. We'll pass the spending for every department and agency except for DHS. Except for Homeland Security, which
how did they let this
runs
fucking
ICE
happen?
and Border Patrol.
How did they fucking
They
let
said
that
because
happen?
we will not fund Homeland Security unless
Trump
they
is
put
just
restrictions
a fucking
on
retard.
ICE. So they say
And
to
everybody
avert the
working
government
for him.
shutdown, let's vote on every other spending item. We'll save Homeland Security for later because we don't want to give them another dollar until they agree to put these restrictions on how ICE is handling these operations. And among the demands, they say they want ICE to take off their masks.
I can't even fucking believe
They want
that
ICE to
they're
wear body cameras.
actually have
They
the
want to
leverage
take
to
away
do
some of the
this.
funding. They want to make it so that ICE cannot make an arrest without a warrant from a judge. This is just some of their demands.
And
This is the story.
guaranteed, if they give in to these demands, this will become the yardstick in the future. Anything that gets any tougher than these fucking whatever they're arguing for. If they try to go back to the old way 10 years from now, no, you have to do it by that standard. You must go back to this standard that you agreed on. Guaranteed this will become the standard going forward.
From the New York Times, it says, quote, Senate Democrats on Wednesday demanded that federal agents carrying out President Trump's immigration crackdown take off their masks and stop warrantless searches and arrests, laying out a list of conditions they said must be attached to a funding bill for Homeland Security ahead of a Friday shutdown deadline. Senator Chuck Schumer, the Democrat minority leader, presented Republicans with a specific proposal that Democrats said they would insist on in exchange for their votes.
Bro, fuck these motherfuckers.
In addition to a prohibition on federal...
This is when you do the nuclear option. You just get rid of the filibuster, say, fuck it, this is it. We're going for the whole thing. We're not playing around anymore. We're getting rid of that, and we're going whole hog. Fuck this half-measure shit. Just fucking do it. Go whole hog. They're going to do it as soon as we are fucking not in power. They're going to get rid of the filibuster. It's time we just did it. Strike first. I'm sick of this fucking just getting beat down by these assholes. Always on the defense. Always on the back foot.
Officers wearing masks. They also demanded that the agents wear body cameras and carry identification. Their proposal would put an end to roving patrols and require warrants issued by a judge for arrests and searches.
They want this, but then they have fucking, what is it, the sanctuary states where they won't even let them show their ID in elections? It's like, bro, you want all of these restrictions and you won't even let anybody investigate. You won't let anybody look in the prison to see who's in jail. How can you add these? You want to make that shit national or something?
Democrats
Bro,
also
this is
want the federal
unacceptable.
agents to be
This is
subject to the same
unacceptable.
use of force policies that apply to local and state law enforcement, which require those involved in violent incidents to be subject to independent investigations if they are accused of wrongdoing. He laid out the demands the day before the Senate was scheduled on Thursday to take its first procedural vote on a spending package that includes funding for Homeland Security, as well as the Pentagon, State Department, and Treasury. If Republicans can't muster 60 votes to advance the legislation, which would require the support of at least 7 Democrats, it will stall with little more than 24 hours to go before the shutdown deadline. So the Democrats want ICE to be banned from wearing masks.
This is incredible.
They want
So
them
they
to
can
wear
target
body
them and
cameras.
assassinate them.
They want them to have to go to a judge to arrest or search anybody.
And illegal.
They want
Who
them
doesn't
to be
belong
subject
here?
to an independent investigation if they're accused of doing something wrong.
Bro,
This is BLM. This is literally BLM. It's
they
the
need to tell them to
same
go
story.
fucking
And do you
pound
know what the
sand.
result is going to be? If even one of these policies passes,
It'll get locked
that
in.
is the end of deportations. It's over.
Yeah.
Because do you know what happens?
They lock it in.
If ICE takes off their masks, then everywhere they go, they're going to be doxxed.
Yep.
And these cops, that's what they are. They're cops. They are going to be threatened at their homes. Their families will be threatened.
Yep.
They will be threatened with being
that'll be it.
unemployable, with being unemployable in the future. If ICE takes off their mask, every time they conduct an operation, a left-wing shithead will be there taking a picture, posting it on the group chat, saying, does anybody know this guy? Then they're going to find him, get his address, they're going to find his family, find his kids, find his wife, find everybody he knows,
They've
put
already
it on an
proven they
Antifa
have the
website,
fucking
and then they're going to
motivation
email
and
the
the will
guy,
to
and they're going to
use it
say, we're going to kill
do
your
this.
family. We're going to kill your kids. We're going to come to your house. That's what happens. And what ICE agent is going to do their job or even stay on the job if this is the risk level? Nobody's prepared for that. I mean, these guys are making how much money per year? 90 grand? I don't know what an ICE agent makes. I think it's more than your average cop. They're making 80 grand, 100 grand a year. You can't afford security like that. You don't have options. You can't live in a gated community. I mean, these are working class people.
Man,
So you're screwed.
This can't be.
Okay, now body cameras. Body cameras, honestly, might be an improvement.
Yeah,
That's
truly.
how it was with cops.
I'll agree with that.
Body cameras are going to show
Sure.
you the kinds of
We can
things
do
that they're
that.
facing. But even still, that's a level of self-consciousness. Cops are going to be reluctant to do
true.
what they got to do.
Having a
Sometimes it gets
angel on
hairy
their
and
shoulder,
sometimes it
or
gets ugly.
demon on their shoulder.
And a body camera makes you hesitate. Every time you pull the trigger, every time you draw that weapon. And that puts you in a deadly situation
Yeah.
because you can't hesitate. You got to be willing to let the chips fall where they will. So what does that mean? It means they're not going to put themselves in harm's way. Same thing with the independent investigations. All these other limitations. This is about handcuffing ICE. This is about making it so that they can't go after every illegal immigrant. It's meant to slow them down. If they got to go to a judge for every warrant, if they got to go to a judge to search somebody, arrest somebody, they can't get 4,000 warrants every day. They can't get 2,000 warrants every day. That's going to grind everything down to a halt. Then they do their operations. They're not going to put themselves in a situation where they're bound up by rules of engagement and body cameras. And
So basically what the Democrats are saying is, look, you're not getting rid of anybody. We are going to import people, and then we're not going to let you get them out. We're just going to keep doing this and doing this and doing this until there's one party rule. You know, it's like, dude, either we fucking make a stand or this fucking country ain't ours anyhow. That's how the Democrats are playing ball. They're playing for keeps. They got us up against a wall, and it's like we keep trying to fight them with one hand behind our back, and it's getting tiresome. They're going to lose our patience.
You are a part of this.
Yeah.
You did this.
Like fucking Tucker,
You fell for it
scumbag.
again. This is the equivalent of posting the black square after George Floyd. This is the equivalent of hands up, don't shoot. Exact thing. You are sympathizing with the enemy that hates you.
Damn right.
These left-wing nut jobs